Today, Sunday, the 6th of October 2024, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share them with you, which will be backed up by some stat and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to access members-only videos based on top 10 or top 15 list of game predictions based on 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as our top list of corner kick events, which we have just shared to members only with a huge odds to take your winning to the next level, then you want to make sure that you join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to members only videos based on our top list to take your winning to the next level. The link is below this video. To those of you who want to join, you want to click on the link, navigate and join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to all of these features. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the first event of our today's list. Looking at the first match pick, we want to look at the England Super League women, a match between Man City women playing against West Ham women. For this event, I first of all want to share with you the recent performance of Man City women based on recent gameplay they have had. Based on this, they are very offensive. They have just had games, as you can see, scoring between 1, 2, 3, and even 5 goals per each event. That of West Ham, on the other hand, based on recent event had, you can see that they have a very high conceding power. And recently, they just had a game in the cup against Portsmouth, and the lead against 6-1. Now, this time, looking at the performance of these two in terms of comparison in the form, I will share with you the performance of these two. This tournament is just the third round, and Man City, having played just one game at home, you're going to see here the sit on the field position. But regarding the form of these in terms of the overall, you're going to see that Man City, of course, sits on a better place. Having played two events, they have had 3 goals scored and 2 conceded. But that of West Ham, on the other hand, proved that they concede much more than Man City women. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in this event in full time. For this particular tournament, Man City women, the home team, is more offensive. And looking at West Ham, which is the opponent, the conceding power is high. And therefore, Man City women want to take advantage of the weak defense of West Ham. In other words, we want to look at 2 major picks here. One, Man City women to lead this match in full time, or just looking at the probability of at least 1.5 goal in full time or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we want to look at England Women's Super League still, but this time a match between Arsenal women against Everton. Looking at Arsenal women, the recent gameplay they have had proved that they are very good. And of course, you can see the recent performance. They have also had games in the Champions League women as well, performing very great, as you can see. But that of Everton, on the other hand, is not as good as compared to that of Arsenal. Looking at the performance of Arsenal women at home, they prove that they are very offensive, especially when they play at home, and they have led almost every game recently being played at home. But that of Everton is not as strong as that of Arsenal. Looking at the stand performance in terms of form between these two, you're going to see that Arsenal, as here, sits on the better position. They have conceded 2 goals and out of the 2 games played, but that of Everton have conceded up to 5. As you can see, they are more conceding. And the offense of Arsenal is better in terms of goal scoring, while that of Everton, they have not yet had any goals scored. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this tournament, the performance of the home team, Arsenal women, is better. The offense is better as compared to that of Everton, and the defense of Everton is more conceding. We therefore want to look at Arsenal women to lead in full time for 1.5 goal or 2 goals over. Looking at next pick, we're looking at Latvia in the Veseliga, the match between BFC Daugavpils against ROFS Rigas. For this event, the performance of the home team is not as great as compared to that of Rigas, as you can see. And the away team have had games, especially in the Europa League, against strong teams like Galatasaray and also against FCSB, which of course, the performance against Galatasaray proved they are good. But this time, looking at the power of the stance in terms of form between these two comparison, you're going to see that both of these two regards sit on the better position of the table. Being the first or best on this league table, you're going to see that out of 5 events they have recently played, They have had 4 wins, scoring 10 goals and conceding 2. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, proved that they concede more and the offense is not as strong as compared to ROFS Regards. And everything in place, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this event, Regards have a better performance as compared to the home team. We therefore want to look at Regards to either lead in full time or the probability of at least 1.5 goals or 2 goals to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we are looking at Portugal in the Liga Portugal, a match between Nacional against Benfica. The performance of the home team proved that they are very poor based on recent events they have had. But that of Benfica, on the other hand, proved that they are very offensive and they have also had games mostly in the Champions League recently, as you can see, and they played against Atletico de Madrid with a lead of 4-0. They also had a game here in the as you can see here, in the Champions League against Krevna Zvezda, and they also had a lead. But that of the home team, they have not had any major game event played like in the Champions League or in the Europa League. And therefore, Benfica having this form in this particular league, like in the Champions League against Atletico de Madrid and also against Krevna Zvezda, they will bring this form same in this particular tournament, which is the 8th round of this tournament. And looking at the stands based on the recent performance of Benfica in terms of form, comparing to that of Nacional, you're going to see that Benfica has a better performance. For 5 events played, they've had 4 wins, having 14 goals scored and only 3 conceded. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, shows that they concede more. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular tournament, of course, Benfica have had games with strong teams like Atletico de Madrid, especially the Champions League and Krevna Zvezda. Its performance in the Champions League will be brought here, and of course, because the fact that they are very offensive, they want to try every means to take this lead in full time. We also want to look at the possibility of at least 1.5 goal or 2 goals to occur, or 2 goals over to occur in this match in full time. The next here is the Scotland Premiership. We are looking at Ross County against Celtic. The performance of Ross County recently have proved that the dudes try to score at least between 1 to 2 and 3 goals per event. That of Celtic, on the other hand, proved that they are very offensive. If you look at the recent game played of the home team, they have mostly had events in the Premier League of Scotland itself. But Celtic, on the other hand, have had major events in the Champions League against Dortmund and also against Slovan Bratislava. While they had a lead against Slovan Bratislava, they have also tried performance with Dortmund, but Dortmund was more offensive. And the form of Celtic is great, and because they have had stronger team play, and of course the matches they have had against the opponent in the Premier League itself, as in the League Cup, have been better. And looking here at this stand, you are going to notice that Celtic performance at the way, especially in the Premier League of Scotland itself, prove that they are very good. You can see Premier League, Premier League, Premier League of Scotland, their performance is better as compared to the home plate of County in the Premier League, which offense is not as strong as that of Celtic. Looking at the stand comparison of these two in terms of form, you're going to see here that based on the form table, Celtic sits on the better place, and they are the best on this table here. Having played 5 events, all the 5 wins has been recorded, scoring 16 goals, and they have not yet considered any very offensive and very defensive team. But that of Ross County, on the other hand, proved that the defense is weak, and the offense is also weak. And of course, looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular tournament, the performance of Celtic, which is the away team, have proved to be very strong. Its recent offense is an average goal score rate of about 3 and even more. And looking at its offensive power, especially gameplay they have had in Major League play, especially in the Europa League and also in the Champions League especially, the performance has been good. But looking at that of the home team, they have not had any major gameplay. Looking at this, of course, Celtic will bring this same form in this particular tournament. And the fact that they are very offensive and the defense is also very strong, want to look at Celtic to lead in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 or 2 goals over for this particular event. Looking at the next, we are still looking at the Scotland Premiership, but this time a match between Rangers against St Johnstone. The performance of Rangers recently have proved that they are very offensive, and they have had games in major gameplay like in the Europa League, and also you can see here in the Europa League also, and in the League Cup of Scotland. But that of St. Johnstone, on the other hand, have mostly had major game played only in the Premier League of Scotland itself. And looking now at the Rangers' performance at home, you're going to see that they are very good at home, especially in the Premier League itself, Premier League against Hibernian and also against Ross County. But that of the away St. Johnstone, on the other hand, you're going to see that the performance in the League Cup and also in the Premier League itself is not good. And now, looking at the stands, you're going to see that Rangers, based on form, sits on a better place. And being placed on the third position, they have had 5 events, 10 goals scored, and 4 conceded. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, you can see the conceding power is very high. Conceding up to 15 goals for just 5 events shows that the average goal conceded rate is very high. And therefore, Rangers want to take advantage of the weak defense of St. Johnstone. As a result, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For these particular events, Rangers is very offensive. And having played in the major game played, especially in the Europa League, their performance is better. Looking at that of its opponent, the conceding power is high. Therefore, Rangers want to take advantage of the weak defense or the conceding power of its opponent to lead this match in full time. We want to look at Rangers to lead and also the possibility of at least 1.5 or 2 goals over to occur in this match in full time. And to those of you who want to have access to our top 10 and top 15 game prediction in terms of our top list of match prediction of 1.5 and 2.5 goals, corner kick events, and also other possibilities, then you want to make sure to join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to all members-only videos to take your winning to the next level. The link is below this video. You can click on it directly, subscribe as a Level 2 Pro member, and start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.